Hello, hi, welcome to the session. Myself, Dr. P. Shivaranjani, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, Handling Management Information System. Today we'll discuss about basics of information management, in that how to make a decision in management information system. So, decision making and problem solving. So here the decision making and problem solving involves the following steps. It has been shown in the diagrammatic representation. So here in decision making it begins with the intelligence, that is the knowledge or the in-depth idea about the particular problem is called as an intelligence, and based upon the particular intelligence you have to design or you have to frame certain strategies, and you have to design your system. After designing your system, based upon your choice, you have to implement the particular system in the user environment or the working environment, and then you have to monitor it. So this will be the various stages that has been followed in decision making as well as in the case of your problem solving. So the next we'll discuss about decision making and problem solving. So what is meant by decision making and what is meant by problem solving? So here the problem solving is the most critical activity a business organization undertakes. The problem solving begins with decision making. So there are five different phases, such as intelligent phase, design phase, choice stage, implementation stage, and monitoring stage. In intelligence stage, the potential problems and or opportunities are identified and defined. In the case of your design stage, the alternative solution to the problems are developed. In the case of choice stages, the course of action is selected. In the case of implementation, the action is taken to put the solution into effect. In the case of monitoring stage, the implementation of the solution is evaluated to determine if the anticipated results were achieved and modify the process. So next we'll see about the type of decisions. There are two different types of decisions. The one is called as a programmed decision and another one is called as non-programmed decision. So in the case of your programmed decisions, or the one or the one that make use of rules, procedures, and quantitative methods. For example, to say the inventory should be ordered when the inventory level drops to 100 units is to adhere to the rule. In the case of your non-programmed decision, deals with unusual or unexpected situation. In many cases, these decisions are difficult to quantify. For example, determining the appropriate training program. So next one is your optimization, satisficing, and heuristic. Optimization is defining the best solution and is usually best fit for the problem that can be modeled mathematically with a low degree of estimation risk. For example, to find how many products of an organization should produce to meet a profitable goal. So this is the example for your optimization. So next one is your satisfaction. So satisfaction is finding a good, but it is not necessarily the best solution. Satisfaction does not look at all the possible solution, but those are likely to give a good results. Satisficing is a good decision method because it is sometimes too expensive to analyze. Too expensive to analyze every alternative to get the best solutions. The satisfying example is when you have to select a locations for a new planet. So this is an example for your satisfying. So the next one is heuristic. Heuristic is nothing but the guidelines or the procedure that is usually find as good solution by using a rule of thumb. So we'll consider some of the problem solving factors. There are a number of factors that are important in problem solving, and awareness to this factor will increase your manager's ability to proper analyze a problem and make a good decision. Such factors are multiple decision objectives. The goal of any organizations go beyond merely increase the profit or reduce the cost. increased alternative. There are more alternative to consider today than few years ago. So the next one is your increased competition. The number of competitor in the marketplace has made it difficult for many organizations to meet defined goal. Social and political actions have a profound impact on the problem solving. Technology has provided the managers with a variety of the problems solving tools, and advanced in capability has increased the decision alternatives. So some of the factors are international aspects. It's like NAFTA and changes in Asia have increases the decision alternatives. Time compression is a phenomena whereby the activities occurs in shorter time frame than was previously possible. Creativity and imagination can differentiate one company from another. So next one is decision support system. So decision support system is an interactive computer based on the information system with an organized collection of models, peoples, procedures, software, database, telecommunication and devices, which helps the decision maker to solve these structured, unstructured or semi-structured business problems. So in order to solve your unstructured or semi-structured business problem, the decision makers make use of this decision support system. So this decision support system is an interactive computer program with a collection of models, peoples, procedures, softwares, database, and telecommunications and devices. So next one is the characteristics of your decision support system. So handle large amount of data like a database search, obtain and process data from different sources, including internal and external data stored on mainframe systems and networks, provide reports and presentation flexibility to suit the decision maker's need, have both textual and graphical orientations like chart, trend lines, tables, and more, perform complex, sophisticated analysis and comparisons using advanced software package, support optimization, satisfaction, heuristic approaches, gives the decision makers a great deal of flexibility in solving simple and complex problems, perform what if and goal seeking analysis. So this are some of the characteristics of your decision support system. So next is some of the capabilities of your decision support system. Support for problem solving phases includes intelligence, design, choice, implementation and monitoring. Support for different decision frequency that ranges from one of kind, that is merging with the company, to repetitive, that is how much inventory to purchase this per week. So one of a kind decisions are handled by an ad hoc decision support system. Repetitive decisions are handled by the institutional decision support systems. Support for different problem structure ranging from high structured and programmed to unstructured and non-programmed programs. Support for various decision making levels, including an operation level decisions, tactical level decisions, and strategic decisions. So some of the components of your decision support system. So here you'll have a database and models basis. So you'll have a database decision support system with distributed database. There is your database management system and your management data management system, model management systems. So that will have an interface with all the access and to the other computers, and also you can access your front end as well as a back end by the help of your user interfaces. So these are the component which will helpful for the decision support systems. So here the next is the decision support subsystem components. The data subsystem includes the database that allows the decision support system to tap into the information stored in the corporate database, and external database access that allows the user of external data sources. The model base gives the decision makers access to a variety of models and assist them in a decision making. The model base can include the model management software, that is MMS, that coordinate the use of your models in your decision support system. The user interface is also called as a dialogue management facility, that it allows the user to interact with the decision support system to obtain information. The user interface requires two capabilities. One is called as an action language that tells, and another one is called as a presentation language. The action language tells the decision support system what is required and pass the data to the decision support system, and the presentation language transfer and present the user results. The next is your decision support system generator act as a buffer between the user and the other decision support system component interacting with the database and the model base and the user interfaces. So the next one is your group decision support system. The group decision support system is shortly called as GDSS, is a CBIS that provides the supports in group decision making settings. So some of the characteristics of your group decision support system. So it's specially designed of software package called as a groupware to allow two or more individuals in a group of a group to effectively work together. Easy to use, eliminate complexity. That will make the system unusable. Flexible to allow two or more decision makers to working on the same problem, utilizing their decision making styles and preference. General and specific and general support capabilities. Anonymous input to foster objectives and unbiased decision makings. Reductions of negative group behavior that is counterproductive or harmful to effective decision making. Support positive group behavior softwares, Lotus Note, Microsoft Net Meeting Exchange. So this is some of the component which has been used for your group decision support system. So next one is the capability of your group decision support system. Decision making aids includes computer program that assists in listing alternatives, analyzing potential solutions and ranking alternatives. Word processing and text manipulations allow groups members to access the common files. Database and file manipulations allows access to several type of data and database management systems. Spreadsheet facility capabilities to allow the calculations and analysis in group meeting. Communication facility that support teleconferencing and video conferencing, often called as an electronic meeting system. So next one is your executive support system. The executive support system is a CBIS used to assist the senior level executives within the organizations. Some of the characteristics of your group decision support system. So it is easy to eliminate the complexity and saving time for the decision makers who are often not technically oriented. Often a wide range of computing resources, including a personal computers, mainframe systems, and networks. Perform a sophisticated data analysis, including what-if and goal-seeking analysis as related to the executive decisions. Offer high degree specifications, allowing decision makers to accurately see big picture of the organization, economy, and competitors. Provide flexibility because the decision makers of the making changing environment rapidly in futures. Provides a comprehensive communication abilities with other managers around the world. So these are some of the characteristics of your group decision support system. So some of the capabilities of your ESS, that is your executive support system. So support for defining overall visions, support for strategic planning, support for strategic organizing and staffing, support for strategic controls, and support for crisis management. So that's it. If you have any doubts, you can post questions in the query box, or you can personally send email. Thank you all.